Johnny Can't Unite Us was here in LA this weekend, and we really rolled out the orange carpet for him. Governor Newsom was on hand to greet the president and first lady as they landed. They spoke with the press. The governor, he did his best to make nice. He said in front of reporters to the president, he said, "You were there for us during COVID, and we won't forget it," which is like telling Michael Myers he was there for us Halloween, and we won't forget it.
Taken care of. This was a horrible thing to watch, and the way it just kept going and going, and then they'd find another area. It was like a genius on the other side. The fire was a genius.
Did you hear about Trump's latest adventure in LA? The orange man thought he could fight fires with Super Mario tactics. No, seriously, he wanted to sign an executive order for magic water pumps. I guess that's what happens when you get your disaster response ideas from video games. But wait, it gets better. Jimmy Kimmel, our late night hero, couldn't resist taking a swing at this comedy goldmine. He roasted Trump harder than those California wildfires. Stick around to see how Kimmel turns Trump's rambling into pure comedy fire. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. So our favorite orange-tinted reality TV star decided to grace Los Angeles with his presence. And boy, did he come prepared. Trump rolled into town like he was about to star in the next big disaster movie.
The fire was a genius, not a stable genius, an unstable genius, but a genius for sure. And it was also, the fire was hot too. A hot genius, like Mayim Bialik.
I'm signing an executive order to open up the pumps and valves in the north. We want to get that water pouring down here as quickly as possible and let hundreds of millions of gallons of water flow down into Southern California.
Listening to Trump talk about the wildfires, it's enough to make you want to pull your hair out of your head. Somewhere along the line, he got this idea there's a water pump we neglected to open that would have been all we needed to put the fire out.
Fiorinado versus the Donald. But instead of bringing actual solutions, he brought his trusty sidekick, his big, beautiful brain. You know, the one that's like really smart. Now picture this. Trump standing there squinting at the California wildfires like he's trying to read the fine print on a McDonald's menu. And then, boom, he drops his grand plan. Are you ready for this genius? He wants to open up some magic water valves. Yeah, you heard that right. Apparently in Trump's world, fighting fires is as easy as turning on a sprinkler system. But wait, it gets better. Our grumpy Trumpy started talking about unlimited water like he just discovered some secret cheat code in a video game. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start, and boom, infinite water. If only someone had told those poor California firefighters earlier, right? Meanwhile, Californians were scratching their heads so hard you could almost hear it. They were probably wondering if Donnie Diapers had been snacking on some of those magic mushrooms from Mario's world.
You're talking about unlimited water coming up from the Pacific Northwest.
That's right. He will be issuing an executive order making the whole state a Six Flags Hurricane Harbor, and that should solve all our problems. Same guy, same person. But Trump's trip got a bigly thumbs up from all the characters in MAGA land, including his newly appointed ambassador to Hollywood, Mr. Mel Gibson. He's got gold coins, just like Super Mario Brothers in there. I think it's important to remember the man criticizing us for our response to the fire is the man who suggested we inject bleach into our bodies to stop COVID.
I mean, come on. Fighting fires isn't as simple as pressing the A button on your Nintendo Trumpster. But hey, at least our Commander-in-Chief's visit gave late-night hosts enough material to last until the next apocalypse. I can just imagine them furiously scribbling notes, grinning like kids on Christmas morning. Trump thinks he can fight fires with video game logic? It's like all our birthdays came at once. And let's be real, folks. Trump in LA is like a fish out of water. If that fish was orange, had tiny fins, and thought it could breathe fire, he probably expected to be greeted by adoring fans, but instead got a bunch of confused Californians wondering why the Oompa Loompa King was trying to mansplain fire safety to them. Enter Jimmy Kimmel, our late night hero armed with jokes sharper than Trump's. Well, anything. Kimmel's got Trump's LA visit in his comedic crosshairs, and boy, is he ready to light up our favorite orange turd like a Christmas tree. You know how Grumpy Trumpy loves to be the center of attention? Well, Kimmel gave him exactly what he wanted, but not in the way Donnie Diapers hoped for. Kimmel kicked things off by saying they rolled out the orange carpet for Trump. I mean, talk about a warm welcome, right? But here's the kicker. Kimmel wasn't just poking fun. He was roasting Trump harder than those California wildfires.
I went out.
They say it's an endangered species. Well, how is it endangered? No wonder it's endangered. It's not getting any water. How do you, if you have a fish and you're stopping the water, isn't that going to hurt the fish? I don't think we should give California anything until they let water flow down into there.
It's from the north to the south.
This is a political thing. I don't know what it is. You know, they talk about the Delta smelt. It's a little tiny fish like this.
Great point, Jacques Cousteau. This has nothing to do with a fish. He is so ridiculous.
Remember when Trump suggested injecting bleach to fight COVID? Well, Kimmel sure didn't forget. He pointed out the irony of Trump criticizing California's wildfire response, saying, "The man criticizing us for our response to the fire is the man who suggested we inject bleach into our bodies to stop CO." I guess in Trump's world, bleach is the answer to everything. Got a stain? Bleach. Got a virus? Bleach. Got a wildfire? You guessed it, bleach. But Kimmel wasn't done yet. He compared Trump's firefighting ideas to a toddler's crayon drawings. Can you picture it? Little Donnie sitting at his desk, tongue sticking out in concentration, drawing stick figures with water buckets? It's almost cute, if it wasn't so terrifying that this guy used to be in charge of nuclear codes. The audience was in stitches as Kimmel delivered zinger after zinger. He even joked about Trump's plan to turn California into a Six Flags Hurricane Harbor to solve the wildfire issues. Because nothing says fire safety like a giant water park, right? I can see the tagline now: come for the slides, stay for the not being on fire. But here's the thing, between all the laughs, Kimmel was slipping in some hard truths. By the end of his monologue, Trump's genius plan was looking about as solid as a chocolate fireman. You know, melty, messy, and completely useless in an actual emergency. Kimmel wrapped it up with a zinger that had the audience howling and Trump supporters fuming. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people think Trump's visit to LA was just another chance for him to spout nonsense about fires. But what if there's more to this wet and wild tale? So there you have it, folks. Our orange-tinted superhero thought he could fight fires with his Super Mario tactics. But just like in the video games, sometimes you need more than just jumping on things and spouting nonsense to save the day. Kimmel reminded us that when life hands you a lemon, or in this case, an orange, sometimes the best thing to do is squeeze it for all the comedy juice it's worth. But let's not forget, while we're laughing at Trump's water pump fantasies, real firefighters are out there battling blazes with actual science and strategy. Maybe next time there's a disaster, we should listen to the experts instead of the guy who thinks windmills cause cancer and bleach cures everything. And speaking of disasters, if you thought this was wild, just wait till you see our next video on Trump goes mad after Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert exposed Melania with one word. Trust me, Grumpy Trumpy's about to get even grumpier.